Welcome to Flash Editorials for December 17, 2011. Anita Stiffy and Hey Would You Blow Me are on assignment at Sentinel's Resort in the Bahamas, investigating the shocking failure rate of latex condoms. I am Ben Jackanoff, a newsreader from here in the good old US of A. Flash Editorials is presented by www.DumpDC.com, Russell D. Longcore, owner and editor. Now to the news. In national news, neocon hand puppet Sean Hannity interviewed pollster Frank Luntz on his radio show Friday afternoon during the 4 o'clock hour. Luntz actually said that Ron Paul has a chance to win the Iowa caucus in a few weeks. He said that Dr. Paul's organization has raised more money than Michelle Bachmann and Rick Santorum combined. He said that if that happens, it will throw the Republican race into chaos. Come on, chaos. We are rooting for you. The Nation Part 2. The Senate passed the National Defense Authorization Act this week. This bill will allow the federal government to incarcerate any American citizen on absolutely no charges whatsoever, and detain them indefinitely if the feds determine that the person is a terrorist. And the feds get to decide what that means. Goodbye Bill of Rights. Chances are good that Obama will sign it into law if it reaches his desk. But will the Republican-controlled House of Representatives go along or kill this bill? Stay tuned, friends. The Nation Part 3. The U.S. Justice Department released a report this week about Sheriff Joe Arpaio of Maricopa County, Arizona. The report alleges that the Maricopa County Sheriff's Department, under Arpaio's leadership, has committed a large number of civil rights violations against Latinos. Just after the report was released, former Arizona Governor and Heinrich Himmler devotee Janet Napolitano cut the Sheriff's Department out of a Homeland Security program that helped local law enforcement match fingerprints. Let's think this through. Arizona passed laws restricting immigration in their state, and the feds went batshit crazy about it. The people just across the Arizona border don't look like they are from Scandinavia or Japan. They are Latinos. Only a blind man would not notice, even though the act of noticing is called racial profiling by the feds. The feds have a bunch of dumbass laws about racial profiling that are being broken by Arizona law enforcement. They are actually doing the exact opposite in Maricopa County that the TSA is doing in every American airport. The deputies are actually willing to acknowledge that people are different, and that appearances matter. I see now. If Joe and his boys would just stop noticing that Mexicans cross the Mexican border illegally, all would be hunky-dory. In international news, Vladimir Putin was president of Russia. Then he got term-limited and had to leave the office. He worked a deal with Dmitry Medvedev so that Medvedev won the presidency, and Putin got to be prime minister. Now Putin is running for president again. But now, Russians are not in a Putin mood. His popularity is at its lowest point ever. And just this week, Russian billionaire and New Jersey Nets owner Mikhail Prokhorov has announced that he will run against Putin in the coming race. This should be great political theater. In business news, on December 12th, commodities broker and liberty-loving fire-breather Ann Barnhart posted that if you have money in a 401k, you should get it out immediately, even if you cannot get it all, and will suffer penalties and taxation. She makes the point that if you cannot get your money, it is not really your money. Here is the link, www.barnhart.biz. Spend some time at her website, and scroll down to the December 12th posting. You will have to scroll past her Catholic rants to pick up the goodies. In economic news, the unemployment claims dropped to 366,000 this week. Remember that holiday hiring is mostly responsible for the drop. We're all glad for lower numbers of unemployment claims, but retail is not manufacturing. And although the numbers are gratefully lower, don't forget that 366,000 people lost their jobs and filed unemployment just this week. And this level of weekly unemployment has been occurring for most of 2011. Just 300,000 a week multiplied by 50 weeks is 15 million lost jobs and new claims. And Washington wants us to believe that the unemployment rate is just below 9%. In the world of sports, Baseball slugger Barry Bonds stood for sentencing on a federal conviction for obstruction of justice today and got 2 years probation. Then the judge suspended the sentence, freeing Bonds during his appeals. No way in hell that Barry Bonds will ever see the inside of a prison cell for using anabolic steroids. And an obstruction of justice conviction is what the feds settle for when the rest of their case is bullshit. Getting part of Barry's ass was better than no ass at all. A person can get an obstruction rap simply by proclaiming your innocence and not bending over the couch and spreading your cheeks for a federal prosecutor. Asked Martha Stewart about that. Finally, in entertainment news, Christopher Hitchens, the raconteur and writer for Vanity Fair magazine, died this week at age 62 of cancer. A heavy smoker and hard drinker, Hitchens had a biting wit and was never without a clever quip. He railed against all he saw as inequitable and hypocritical, and recently wrote and spoke eloquently against organized religion. So, I'm looking for the quote from a member of the religious community that God popped a cap in his ass, so to speak, as a revenge killing. That's all for tonight. Thanks for watching. Speaking for Hey Would You Blow Me and I Need a Stiffy, I am Ben Jackanoff. Good night and good luck. DumpDC, 6 letters that can change history. Copyright 2011, Russell D. Longcore. Permission to reprint in whole or in part is gladly granted, provided full credit is given.